Welcome back to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it. Welcome back, everybody, to What's the 411 News. It's looking like in New York City, we got a bunch of Africans, and from the way it sounds, they're illegal aliens as well, or might be. They're feeling real entitled. They're acting real entitled, as if nobody else matters in New York City but them. So let's go get right into it, ladies and gentlemen, and see what they're talking about, all right? So yeah, let's get right into this right about now. So the African immigrants, or African migrants, is what they're calling them, but we know they're immigrants, swarm New York City Hall for hearing on experiences they are having of Black immigrants. And already from the jump, the wording is way, way, way off, way, way inappropriate. It should be their experiences as African immigrants, not Black immigrants, because a lot of them will say they're not Black. They'll say they're Senegalese, they're Ghanaian, they're from Ghana, they're Nigerian. Now all of a sudden, they want to put it in the news that they're Black immigrants, right? All of a sudden they're Black because maybe that's getting the steam now. The word Black, being Black, is getting a lot of steam now. So now they want to refer them as such, all right? So the hearing comes as an influx of illegal immigrants has put a strain on the city's resources, all right? New York City Mayor Eric Adams has said the city is at a breaking point amid an influx of illegal immigrants. A hearing on the experiences of African migrants in New York City drew a crowd of more than 1,000 people. Tuesday morning, some of whom were reportedly under the false assumption they would be getting work visas and green cards. All right. So video footage obtained by a news source that showed throngs of people outside City Hall, with many gathered at a park across the street. City Council member Alexa Aviles, write those names down. Last name is Aviles, Aviles, who serves as chair of the Committee on Immigration and organized the hearing, said it centered around the experiences of Black immigrants. There they go again with the wordplay. First is African migrants early on. Now it's back to Black immigrants again. All right. They're not Black. They are African. Let's get that straight. We must uproot the anti-Blackness that plagues. See, I don't want to kind of gloss over that. I want y'all to see and listen to the wording that's going on here. Because the anti-Blackness was done to us. The Black Americans. The foundational Black Americans. The Black American freedmen. The African descendants of slaves. The American descendants of slaves. Let me not mess that one up. The American descendants of slaves. All right. Anti-Blackness, the wordplay. All right. We must uproot the anti-Blackness that plagues our system of care. This work requires dedication, creativity, and a city willing to fund our short, mid, and long-term needs, Aviles said. Aviles' colleagues commended her for organizing the hearing. Council member Sandy Nurse, another name, write it down. Keep these people in mind later on. Make a list of all these names. Who represents the city's 37th district, said the experiences of black migrants is very different than other groups. And I'm proud that the council is highlighting this disparity. I was going to say something, but I'm going to continue on. Per reporting from a New York news source, dozens had been under the impression they received work visas or green cards if they showed up. A source told the paper that the crowd was mostly comprised of newly arrived migrants from the West African nation of Guinea. All right. So why can they say Guinea immigrants? They got to sneak in and put them black in there because they want to make everybody black. That's an attempt, a propaganda attempt to make everybody black. And disregard black Americans have a different culture, totally different from any Africans on the continent. Our culture is way different from Africans. We have a different way of looking at things. We have a different way of communicating. We have different types of foods. We created a bunch of music. Our fashions are different. There's nothing the same between black Americans and Africans. Our cultures are way different. And that's just a few examples of what culture is. All right. But they're trying to mix that in, that black, so everybody can make everybody black, because it sounds like it's cool to be black again. All right. It's cool to be black again for some reason. Now they want to put everybody as black. All right. So again, a source told the paper that the crowd was mostly comprised of newly arrived migrants from the West African nation of Guinea. All right. City officials said the hearing was intended to find solutions to better integrate the immigrants. The hearing comes as an influx of illegal immigrants has put a strain on the city's resources. Last year, New York City Mayor Eric Adams warned that the city was reaching its breaking point. Representative Nicole Maliotakis, I think that's how you pronounce that, Republican of New York, said the crowds who descended on City Hall on that Tuesday had a sense of entitlement, spurred on by the mayor's policies. I'm going to read that one again. Representative Nicole Maliotakis, who's a Republican in New York, said the crowds who descended on City Hall had a sense of entitlement, spurred on by the mayor's policies. Citizens of other countries believe that American citizens struggling to pay to keep a roof over their heads are responsible for housing them indefinitely. Let's look at that one again. Citizens of other countries believe that American citizens struggling to pay to keep a roof over their heads are responsible for housing them, the people from these other countries, indefinitely. So we are responsible for making sure these Africans are good, and we're supposed to have just an indefinite time, no cutoff. So they already, again, that's their sense of entitlement. Nothing in there about these Africans saying, hey, we respect the black Americans, and before you give us something, we want them to have something, and we're going to roll with them. We're going to learn from them. We're going to roll with them, and you disrespect them, that's disrespecting us. That's what the Africans should be saying, but they're not saying that. They just have that sense of entitlement. No, these Americans need to keep us afloat. They're responsible for housing us indefinitely. That's the mindset of them, right? That's the culture of them, right? That's not Black American culture to have that mindset. Mindset is part of the culture too. Way of thinking, that's part of culture. Way of acting, way of speaking. So their culture is, no, you were supposed to take care of us and house us, make sure we good indefinitely. Makes a lot of sense when you think that they had to leave their countries to come over here when they should have just stayed over their countries and made their countries great. They're able to come over here and demand to live off of the backs of the ones who built this country, the Black Americans. Even Trump said that. Black Americans built this nation. All right. Yeah. So Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who is himself an immigrant, also weighed in, commenting on a post pertaining to the New York City hearing. Elon Musk qualified he was in favor of legal immigration, being an immigrant myself, but allowing a flood of millions of unvetted people to enter the United States illegally is insane. That's quoted from Elon Musk. And here I have to agree with, I don't have to, but I agree with Elon Musk here. They need to be vetted. They don't even really need to be over here, to be honest with you, because they brag about how good they get an education and they're so educated. A lot of them say that. They're so educated. Well, if you're so educated, as if to say you overeducated over than Black Americans, and Black Americans, we're so lazy, but yet our ancestors built the nation. How lazy can you be? And those same DNA is in us from back then, back during those times when they built this nation. So we have a DNA of not being lazy, period. But if you're so educated and you're so not lazy, why is it you can't go back to your country and be so educated and so not lazy and build it up? Build your countries up the way Black Americans built up the U.S. So I agree partially with Elon Musk is saying, because they need to be vetted, because right now a lot of people's coming over here and you don't know from one person to the next who are the organized crime gang members. You got the Chinese coming over here now, a lot of them, along with the Latinos coming over here, a lot of them. And you got Africans coming over here, a lot of them. And you don't know which one of these are the scammers, the violent criminals, because they just letting them come on in. Thanks to Biden, the ones you guys voted for. So yeah, let us know what you think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know what you think about this one. Africans feeling real entitled to get treatment. And I also note how they trying to use, they interchanging Black African, Black migrants, African immigrants, Black migrants. So it's already playing the psychological game with the wordplay. All right. We're the ones that call ourselves and refer to ourselves as Black Americans. You still have some that say they're African Americans, although a lot of them never been to Africa. And then you have a lot of African Americans who are AKA Black Americans who claim and just feel like, oh, the Africans are for us. But you see right here, this is just one example of many. What I read in there about them saying they feel that we should be housing them indefinitely, taking care of them. Does that sound like somebody who's for you, who looks out for you, who rocks with you? Does that really sound like that? For all the African Americans, aka foundational Black Americans, who are just so, and those Pan-Africanists who just say we're all one big Black family. Man, we got one big black family that's, some of them are really against black Americans, or they feel very entitled and nobody else matters, right? So yeah, let us know what you guys think, man. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, all right? We're available on Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, Twitch. We also on Spotify's podcast, and we're also on Fanbase as well. All right. Be sure to go to what's the411news.com, and you can read our articles as well. If you want to read the articles instead of watching the videos, you can do either one, because the videos and the articles going to be up there together. All right. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. So if you're coming to YouTube to subscribe, comment, share these videos. People need to know what's going on out here in these streets. All right. It also lets YouTube know that, yeah, this is the channel to be at. So you need to spread the word, YouTube. All right. It lets them know to do that. So I appreciate y'all, man. This is What's the 411 News. We'll be back with another one. We out. Peace. Welcome back to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it.